Hi everyone, Coach April here. I think I'm live now. It's a little frozen, so hopefully it is working. Here we go. I think we're working. All right, so happy Monday. Um, what we're going to talk about today is what how to avoid the keto flu and what is the keto flu. And the keto flu is a combination. So some of the things are detoxing, like detoxing off sugars, can be part of the keto flu, but mostly the keto flu is actually electrolyte deficiencies. So we don't want you to have electrolyte deficiencies um, because you don't have to have those symptoms. And because it can be a little dangerous to have lower lower electrolyte levels. You're actually pretty much dehydrated when you have lower electrolytes. So drinking too much water can also cause electrolyte deficiencies because as you're drinking water, you are flushing out every time you go to the bathroom. You're flushing out your electrolytes. So that is a common myth that you need to drink a gallon of water a day. If you're thirsty, drink if you, and if you're having symptoms of some of these symptoms, I'm going to tell you which symptoms relate to which electrolyte and some of the sources and where to get them. So, the symptoms of keto flu are heart palpitations, muscle cramps, fatigue, brain fog, dizziness, headaches, constipation, and trouble sleeping. And so those things are what people describe when they describe the keto flu. And what happens is when you start keto, your body starts processing electrolytes a little differently because your insulin levels are lower, and because you are dumping excess fluids. So as you're having trouble with your as your body's flushing out the excess fluids, you're urinating more often, and that is where you're losing your electrolytes. So the symptoms are for sodium deficiency. So you've been taught repeatedly that salt is bad, and it is not bad. Sodium is necessary. It is very, very important. It is important for your whole body. So, fatigue, if you are feeling fatigued, if you're feeling weakness, headaches, and difficulty concentrating, you need salt. You need more sodium. And you need to eat between 1 and 3 teaspoons of sodium a day. So, adding some pink Himalayan sea salt to your meals because we're eating less. Also, we're eating less processed foods, so you're getting less sodium. Because most of the foods that are the processed foods are a big source of a lot of sodium for people. Um, even soft drinks have sodium in them. So when you're avoiding those types of things, you're going to be ingesting less sodium in general, and your body needs more sodium when you're on keto. So, if you are having the fatigue, weakness in your body, headaches, and brain fog, you probably have a sodium deficiency and you need to eat more salt. Um, and I tell every one of my clients, I repeat this over and over and over again. Anytime they're complaining of these symptoms, I'm like, have you taken your electrolytes? Electrolytes, electrolytes, electrolytes. My favorite is actually one we get off Amazon. It's called Keto Vitals. You can get the lemonade flavor that tastes like Crystal Light kind of. Or you can get there's a fruit punch and I think there's a mango flavor. Or you can get the capsules and just take them every day. Make sure your electrolytes are sugar free. You do not want saccharose or aspartame. Aspartame can cause headaches also, and it can cause neurological issues. and sucralose, your body treats it the same as sugar, so you're going to release insulin with it. And your blood sugar is going to be elevated with sucralose, which is another name for Splenda. So those are two things to kind of avoid when you're looking for a sugar-free electrolyte supplement. Watch for sucralose and aspartame. Some people have problems with aspartame. It causes headaches. It causes neurological side effects. So if you are sensitive to aspartame, I don't drink it. I wouldn't recommend it. But if you're not sensitive and you want to, that's on you. The other potassium. Potassium causes muscle cramps. It causes muscle twitching, heart palpitation. So if your heart is beating and you're noticing your heartbeat is beating more rapidly, is beating a little fast, that is probably potassium, because potassium controls the electric pulses that tell your heart to beat. So potassium is super, super important. It's very important that you get it. But it's also important that you don't overdose on potassium and have too much potassium in your blood at the same time, because that can cause some kidney issues. So potassium, you can take potassium now as a supplement if you're just needing potassium. Maybe your magnesium and your sodium are okay. You take in your electrolytes for the day, but you notice that you're still having some muscle cramps, muscle twitches, or heart palpitations, then potassium now. But usually it's highly recommended that you eat leafy greens or avocado or mushrooms, and those are healthy sources to get more potassium in your body. Actually, spinach has more potassium and avocado has more potassium than a banana. Just for a heads up, because a banana is going to kick you out of ketosis. It has a whole lot of sugar. It's going to spike your blood sugar. So avocado, leafy greens such as spinach, and mushrooms. You can also get, they have green supplements for people who are really picky eaters. And they have, there's like Vega plus greens. There are collagens plus greens. Dr. Berg has a green supplement powder. So there are several ways to get more greens into your system that are not, if you're not really a big avocado or green veggie fan. So another thing is cramps, muscle cramps, and constipation are and trouble sleeping, and that is likely magnesium deficiencies. So magnesium, you can find it in hemp and pumpkin and chia seeds, mackerel, fish, almonds, leafy greens, and you can take magnesium now as a great magnesium supplement that Diet Doctor recommends. And that's if you need magnesium on top of electrolytes. So if you're taking your electrolytes every day and you're still having some of these symptoms, if you're having the constipation, the muscle cramps, and the trouble sleeping, magnesium will most likely help. Magnesium citrate is really good for constipation. So that's why if you start taking magnesium, take it in smaller doses at first, because you need to work your way up to a higher dose. Magnesium, you need about 400 milligrams a day. But if you're having too high a dose at once and you start off really high, it may have a laxative effect. So if you're having trouble going to the bathroom, that's great. It's going to help you go. But if you're not having trouble, but you're having trouble with the muscle cramps and the trouble sleeping, then then work your way up to higher dose of magnesium. With the sodium, salt is not bad. Salt does not raise your blood pressure. What raises your blood pressure is inflammation in your body, and carbs plus sodium. So when you eat carbs and you eat salt, you retain the salt. When you eat a low carbohydrate diet and you eat salt, your salt is used properly, and then you release it because you're releasing the fluids. So sodium with a higher carbohydrate diet will cause you to be bloated and cause water retention. On a low carbohydrate diet such as keto or paleo or carnivore, you're going to retain less fluids, so you actually need more sodium. And sodium, you need at least 1,000 milligrams of sodium per day. That is the minimum anybody needs, even people on the standard American diet, the SAD diet. But on keto, you may want to up that to like 1,500 to 2,000 milligrams of sodium a day. So if you're noticing that you're having fatigue, you're having brain fog, you're having weakness, you're having headaches, that's sodium. If you're noticing you're having muscle cramps, it could be potassium or magnesium. Now, magnesium, you're going to have like twitching, cramping legs after exercising or at night, almost like a restless leg feeling. If you're having a restless leg feeling, magnesium is what you need to focus on. If you're just having muscle cramps or you're having muscle cramps throughout the day, that is potassium. So if your muscles are twitching and it was not with exercise or immediately following exercise, or it's not concentrated to nighttime, it's likely potassium. Heart palpitations, potassium. And this one's can scare you a little bit if you're having heart palpitations. But that is because potassium is responsible for, yes, Crystal, I can add the link. It's actually on my website on eatketoish.com. There's recommended products, and the electrolytes are covered in the blog, and they're covered in the electrolyte in the blog and in the recommended products. So eatketoish.com will give you that link, but I can also post it after I get off here. Yes, Dr. Berg's are a little bit more expensive. I love his products. I do use his gallbladder formula because it's the best. But for electrolytes, I do use Keto Vitals. So again, sodium is not bad. Eat salt. Salt is good for you. Salt is necessary. Potassium makes your heart beat. You need potassium. Magnesium is also super important. You don't want your muscle spasms and twitching, trouble sleeping, and constipation. So if you are on keto, electrolytes. I will say it over and over. And if you are a client of mine and you come to me and you ask and you tell me that you're having any of these symptoms, my first question will be, are you taking your electrolytes? Have you been having electrolytes daily? How much sodium are you getting in your diet? So my very first question is going to be, and you're gonna be like, oh, she's going to tell me electrolytes again. Yes, electrolytes are that important. Super, 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 super important. You can actually drink too much water and deplete your electrolytes to the point that you can go into a coma or die. There have been people who drink too much water too quickly. And athletes, oftentimes, so if you are working out, while you are on keto, sodium is super important, especially if you're working out in the heat. Athletes oftentimes, like long distance runners and marathon runners, have salt tablets that they keep with them to help them when they're running marathons and long distance running. Um, Football players oftentimes have sodium tablets with them. Um, Gatorade's garbage and it's full of sugar, so I don't recommend Gatorade. Now, Gatorade Zero is a little better. Um, it's a little better, but I would recommend like the keto. Like I said, the Keto Vitals is pretty good. I think it's like 120. Is it like 120 servings per container? And it's like 25 $26, something like that. So that's a couple of about 3 months worth, maybe almost 4 months worth for about $25. So it's not bad. So Keto Vitals, the lemonade flavor is probably the best flavor wise. There is a fruit punch and a mango. If you want to get crazy, you're sick of lemonade, you want to try something else. If you want a little, and also if you're one of those people who need a little flavor in your water, lemon and lime is good. It's a great thing to put in your water. You can drink and add lemon and lime to it to give it a little zest. Um, and you can also add these Keto Vitals, the lemonade, to a sparkling water or a seltzer water also if you wanted to do that. And it comes with it's sweetened with stevia. So if you're sensitive to stevia, though, I may recommend taking some electrolyte capsules, and then just taking those, and you have no sweetener in them. But to recap, sodium, super important, is fatigue, weakness, headaches, and difficulty concentrating, brain fog. You're probably sodium deficient. If you're having muscle cramps and muscle twitches and heart palpitations, it's most likely potassium, but the muscle twitches and the muscle spasms at night or directly following exercise can be magnesium. And magnesium is also responsible for difficulty sleeping and constipation. So if you are having constipation, difficulty sleeping, muscle twitching at night, restless leg kind of activity, and then magnesium is likely the culprit. But you can just take all the electrolytes in one, and if you're still having a little bit of one of these kind of symptoms, then increase just that electrolyte. That will work too. But sometimes if you're having trouble, I recommend taking two servings of electrolytes a day. So if you're having any of the symptoms of keto flu, such as trouble sleeping, constipation, headache, dizziness, brain fog, fatigue, muscle cramps, or heart palpitations, is likely because it's just electrolyte deficiency. You're deficient in either sodium, magnesium, or potassium. And they're super important for everything. So low salt is not good. I do not recommend. I actually had a client who was told she had Meniere's disease, which is dizziness. Dizziness can also be low sodium, by the way. But she was told she had Meniere's. And the doctors will tell you to eat low sodium. They say it's because you have too much fluid in your ears. I don't know how they link fluid in your ears to sodium. I don't know. But I did tell her that it was not a good idea to stay on keto if she was going low sodium. I just didn't feel comfortable coaching someone because I know how important sodium is and how it's kind of depleted and you need to ingest more when you're on keto. So so sodium is not bad. It's not bad. It's not raising your blood. Actually, a lot of people who eat more sodium on keto will also notice on keto, maybe they've been on keto for 6 months, they'll notice their blood pressure decreases. But you do need electrolytes. Over and over and over and over and over again forget to take their electrolytes and then are like, why am I feeling so bad? They'll take their then they'll be like, have not had my electrolytes in a day or two. That's what's happening. So make sure you take your electrolytes to avoid keto flu symptoms. And I hope you have a wonderful rest of your week. And I forgot I had my wristband on. I had to have a mammogram this morning. Fun times. But I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the week. And do not forget electrolytes. My favorite is Keto Vitals. And I will put the link in, like Crystal requested. But you can also go to my website, eatketoish.com, and there is a link there. Thank you guys. Have a great day.